Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke, bringing you the reasons we're broke every week, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are a proud member of the Nerd Up Media Network. If you found us through nerdupmedia.com, welcome to new listeners. Normally we started off with a bit of news ranging once again from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. And we finally close it out with our comics for the week on our pull list, mainly DC Comics because we are huge Batman fans. But we do want to give out a spoiler warning ahead of time.
Yep, we talk about everything that goes on in these comics, so if you haven't read it, you can certainly skip over that segment. Or if you just want to know what happens, you can keep on listening.
We'll go ahead and give you a further warning ahead of time based on some feedback that we've gotten from fellow Brokehead listeners. But if it's like a bigger title, such as Forever Evil, we'll usually give it a couple weeks before we actually spoil on what happens. So with that in mind, we're actually going to start it off with most of our news this week, which did pertain to E3 2014.
Yes, this is a very news-heavy week because a lot of amazing stuff was revealed, and we all knew that was going to happen. So we're going to jump right into it. First off, Grand Theft Auto 5 will be coming to the PS4 this fall.
Fucking called it.
You did.
I've been on fucking fire lately. With the Arkham delay.
You called that, you called something else. Oh, Batman vs. Superman getting delayed.
True.
Called that one too. Now with this one, you said from the beginning, you're like, guys, it's going to come out for the PS4, and everybody's like, no, it's not, it's only on the PS3, so they bought it, and now they're going, oh, I'm going to have to buy it on, oh wait, I'm sorry, I have to be Prospector. Oh, I got to buy it on the PS4 now.
Yeah, right when, let's just say I work at a video game retail location, before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, every customer was asking me, so is this going to come out on the PS4 or the Xbox One next-gen systems? And I was like, they said it's not. It is. It's going to come to it. They're like, I don't think so. They said it wasn't. No, it's going to come. It's fucking lost money right there if they don't bring it out again on the next-gen systems. They bought it anyway. All right, don't listen to me. Whatever. Less than a year later, we're actually going to bring it out on PS4. Oh, look at that. It's coming out on next-gen systems.
And they're all going to buy it again.
People are already asking me, like, hey, can you pre-order that Grand Theft Auto 5 on next-gen systems? I really want to play that again. Of course you do. That game cost you $120 now. Yep. $120. I'm not going to judge, though, because Super Smash Bros. Is going to cost me $100 with the game, the adapter, and the extra controller. So good for them. Grand Theft Auto 5, I do the same fucking thing. No, we're not going to release that. Yeah, we are. Buy that again, bitches. The Xbox One players, this is actually awesome. Halo Master Chief Collection will feature Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in one Blu-ray disc. It'll release exclusively to the Xbox One, so sorry 360 players, on November 11th for $60. Not that bad, because you can still buy it on the 360, buy them used or whatever for probably less than $60. Mm-hmm. But you can have it all in one disc in high definition for $60 coming up this year.
That's awesome. I think that's going to make a lot of money. Because people went crazy over... Do people still go crazy over Halo?
Hell yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. I heard the last one, because it was a different development team, it was actually one of the better ones in years.
Interesting. I always got invited to those Halo parties, and I'm like, I'll come eat the potato chips. And I just kind of hung out in the kitchen.
I remember I was in high school when Halo 2 came out. Mm-hmm. We hadn't seen so many students call out sick in years because of Halo 2. It was either Halo 2 or Grand Theft Auto 3. That we just had tons of people missing, and we'd know ahead of time. My friends would be like, we're not coming tomorrow, we're going to be playing GTA 3 all day.
Like you and, what was that game? You called out for Call of Duty.
Which one was it? Did I really? I don't remember that.
Yeah. You called in one day to work for Call of Duty, and you're like...
It must have been the second one.
You were like, this game has now cost me X amount of money, because that's how much I missed out on by not working today.
That's
and I bought
awesome.
the game.
It had to be the second one, because I remember Call of Duty 4, I loved it. I remember I checked it out and I played it. I played the demo and it was awesome. And I got hooked on the online and I played, I think Black Ops was probably the one I played the most out of all of them. Mm-hmm. It was really awesome. So for this one, in this case, for Xbox players, there you go. Halo Master Chief Collection coming up this winter.
Something else great for you, Dan. You're going to get excited about this one. And I don't like this news. A new Mass Effect game is now in development. Although Krogans were shown, this will be an all-new adventure.
They actually talked to fans, so before, any fans that bitched about this clearly didn't pay attention to any of it. They surveyed a bunch of fans, including myself, and asked, what do you want to see in the next Mass Effect game? I personally voted that they should go back into the history of the Mass Effect universe and talk about the war between all of the races, between the Krogans and the humans. They keep alluding to it in the new games. But most fans actually voted to have a brand new adventure set in the future or set a little bit after the Shepard stories. That's cool. All right, I would have preferred like a trip to the past, because then you could have built upon this world and this history, this rich, awesome adventure that he took us on. But, I'm just happy that they're going to have more Mass Effect games and further up this story. Nothing on Shepard. They said it's going to be an all-new protagonist. Sounds like you're still going to play as a human. I'm on board. Even though it's a completely new take on the series, sounds like the mechanics are going to be all new. What they showed at E3 were mainly art, direction, videos, and production stuff. They said it was a little too early to show anything, and that was the biggest complaint about this reveal. I'm just happy there's going to be a new one.
I hate this game already.
You used to call it Ass Effect.
I still call it Ass Effect.
Tell to the newer Brocat listeners, let them know why you called it Ass Effect.
Because you liked it too much.
You can't like a game too much.
You did like it too much. Okay, I'd walk upstairs. I'd be like, hey, Dan, what do you want for dinner? And he's playing his game. And then 5 minutes later, he'd go, huh? Literally. It was horrible. Hated Ass Effect. And then you never dated the boys I wanted you to date. You date the girls. I wanted you to date the boys.
It's okay. As a female character, I played a gay character.
No, I wanted you to date the boys as male Shepard.
Not all of them were gay, Kelly. You can't just choose who you want to be.
Why not? You could seduce them.
I
like
could try.
Garrus. I wanted you to date Garrus.
I wanted to be with Garrus too, and I did do all the friendship stuff, but he didn't seduce him.
The mysterious sir.
The fucking elusive man.
Mysterious,
I would love to seduce Michael Douglas as male Shepard, because then you can both rule the galaxy
together.
That would have been hilarious, but instead I chose Miranda.
He said a lot of gay things to you, though.
He did.
The mysterious sir?
Mm-hmm.
I remember him saying things like, your eyes, or something.
He did not say your eyes.
Would have been a better game if he did. Then it really would have been
Michael
Ass
Douglas
Effect.
would have had to pass on that, like sign off on all that. Way more expensive.
So awesome.
Next one is for PS4 fans. Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, and Little Big Planet 3 will be coming to PS4 in 2015. Not a Last of Us sequel, Uncharted 4.
Okay.
They're going to rotate them. They're going to work between the two games. They're alluding that this will be the last one in the Uncharted series.
Well, yeah, Thief's End.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to die.
Little Big Planet 3 will be the biggest game in the series, of course.
Of
Best
course.
graphics, more items, more kinds of mini-games that you can create in that. I never got into it too much. I actually liked Little Big Planet karting more than I liked the main series.
I think that'll be another game that'll sell the system.
Little Big Planet 3, really?
Yeah, Kyle will buy it. My brother.
I don't know. I don't really have that many people ask for Little Big Planet stuff anymore.
Yeah, they will. When they start... Well, I guess there's Minecraft, too. But anyway, when they start seeing things on it, they're going to remember how much they liked it.
Regardless, I think people are going to be buying it for the Last of Us sequel. And even now, the PS4 is selling pretty well, regardless. You don't know how many of those things I sold in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
With E3? Yeah, everyone was trading in their PS3s.
They were all talking about it at work, too. Like, what am I going to get? I'm like, I'm going to get a Wii U!
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to get Batman,
Well,
which is coming up.
That's fine. I'm going to get Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom of Hearts. Call it the right name.
You call it the right name. You and your Ass Effect. Speaking of Last of Us, The Last of Us Remastered finally has a street date. It will release on July 29th for the PS4.
It's another case of GTA 5,
Yes.
but on the PS4.
Yes.
They're going to add a couple of different things. They're going to update the visuals. They showed the video in which they compared the PS3 and the PS4 version. I personally didn't see that much of a difference.
You mean they didn't do that thing where they make the one, like, really fuzzy?
They did, but they didn't. Like, if you see the two comparisons, it's like it never looked that bad on the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
It was never that bad. They did that with Resident Evil 4 when they brought that out on HD.
Yes.
I remember I played Resident Evil 4 on the GameCube because that
Like
was the original
9
system that
times,
came out.
didn't you
A
beat
ton of
it?
times. That's my favorite game of all time is Resident Evil 4, followed by
I'm telling
Star
Pokemon.
Fox 64. You can tell Pokemon. I don't care.
I'm telling Pokemon.
And then when they showed, like, this is what it looked like on the GameCube, and this is what it looks like in HD, I'm like, bullshit, guys. I played that game 9 times. It never looked all blurry and shit.
You guys got a shitty-ass TV.
What video capture card are you guys using? Here, use mine. Mine's 10 years old, but it'll look better than that. Or better yet, come over. We'll play Resident Evil 4. So that's kind of what they didn't do it to that extreme with Remastered. It could have even looked the same and people would have still bought it because they're going to be adding some new content, and Last of Us, to many people, was one of the greatest games they played in the last 10 years.
Wow.
I watched my brother play it, my little sister. They loved it, and the story was amazing. Like, you actually got caught up in these characters. I didn't actually play it, so I can't give you an honest review of it, but it looked phenomenal.
Well, there are some games I would rebuy, though. Dead Space? I'd rebuy it.
Dead Space 1, like, remastered or something?
Yeah, for the PS4.
I'm trying to think of what I would buy on the PS3 that was maybe the first couple of Mass Effects, if they added some more things to them. Changed up the visuals, updated them. Because when you created your character...
Like, date a gay guy?
That's fine, too.
The mysterious, sir?
The Elusive Man. Yeah, that would be the greatest story. But then also, like, if they released the Sonic Genesis Collection again or something like that, something that will always be something you can play, hell yeah, I'd buy it. And for this, Last of Us, I don't blame them. Same thing with Halo. Do it. Make more money.
Yeah, why not?
This one I was really happy about. In spite of the delay, the Arkham Knight Batmobile gameplay was revealed.
Mm-hmm.
This showed you exactly how Batman will use the Batmobile in the new Arkham Knight game. If you don't know, Arkham Knight did get delayed till 2015, which we said on the last podcast or two ago, that as long as they make the game better, who gives a shit if they delay it? This is Rocksteady's final game. They want to make sure it's nailed. And for this one, the Batmobile is shown, and it shoots missiles. Like, that was the controversial thing about it. Like, how can Batman not be killing people when he's shooting missiles out at other tanks?
Because he's Batman.
Because he's Batman. They're non-lethal missiles is what the Batmobile actually switches to. And what my brother was saying, I didn't see this piece of gameplay, but you can actually take down thugs using the Batmobile.
That's awesome.
Where it'll, like, kick them up into the air and knock them out with rubber bullets. Kind of like in The Dark Knight Returns.
Can you run them over? I just run them over.
No, every time people tried to run them over during E3, the thugs would actually get out of the way. Did you ever play Crazy Taxi?
No.
In Crazy Taxi, it was the same thing. Like, they'd move just enough out of the way where you couldn't run the people over. And if there was that one glitch where you actually did, like, hit them, they would just go through the taxi.
Aww.
So for the new Batman game, all the thugs move out of the way. Obviously, Batman doesn't kill, uses non-lethal bullets. And it's seamless when he jumps out of the Batmobile and back in. I mean, you saw the same thing.
I heard Kevin Conroy's voice. I was lost after that.
You're like, this is Batman again. It's not like that Arkham Origins thing with that old guy.
That's what I did. I just went...
It's not... What, you came out of the Batmobile?
No, and then there were, like, bubbles, like in anime. And I'm just listening to seeing Batman run around. And it's playing doo-doo, like piano music. That's what happened.
You fell in love, I guess. All over again. So what'd you think of the gameplay, though? What'd you think of the graphics and the open world for Gotham City?
I thought it was beautiful. I love the opening where you start out in Wayne Tower. And so he was obviously doing some paperwork or whatever it is Bruce Wayne does. Hitting on some hoes, I don't know. And then he's like, I'm gonna be Batman now. And he's flying over the city. He flew for a long time.
That's what my brother said, too. Like, it was a little bit longer than he remembers. But if you remember, he kept doing the diving.
Well, yeah.
And that's what got you up higher later on. What'd you think of the Batmobile or the Batsuit actually being parts and pieces that kind of, like, machinized around his face and his chest and all that?
I thought it looked really cool.
I could buy the chest piece and everything because it does need to be mobile for him to be able to punch these guys and flip and all that. But the mask, I'm like, that's a little too much. Like, just have it be an armor thing if you want. If it's not going to be a proper cowl, but...
You don't think he's got to be able to move fast?
The little pieces, his face, like his facial expressions, he has enough space in his mouth and everything.
Well, he's got to be able to turn really fast and move and dodge things.
That's fine. Like, in the older games, he had, like, the ridges around his neck so he can turn his neck and all that. But where, like, the cheek is a separate machine part and the eyebrows are separate.
So he can grimace and do a bat glare better. Please, Dan.
That's just me nitpicking. Like, who gives a shit about the fucking cowl?
I thought his Batmobile was cool, and it turned into, like, Mega Batmobile.
When it Mega evolved?
Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna go sideways like a crab.
I thought that was cool, too.
And then he's driving around sideways, forward.
He was shimmying.
I'm doing a little crab dance. They're all missing it, but it's pretty cool. Overall, I think it looks like a really solid game, though. Very excited. Way too complicated for me to play, so I will totally watch you play it.
One piece of information that they revealed is that the Arkham Knight will be someone that Batman knows, because they showed that the Arkham Knight, when his thugs are shooting Batman, he tells them, no, don't shoot at the armor or the chest, because that's where he's most reinforced his armor. You want to shoot at his knees, that's the weak spot. It's like, how the fuck does this guy know? So they're shooting at Batman's
Whiny
knees and
ass
trying
Robin.
to take him out. It's going to be Jason Todd. I'm telling you, it's going to be Jason Todd.
Ew. Why do you have these other Robins? It should be me. Now I'm gonna go to Arkham and fight with the bad guys.
I hope that happens. I can't wait to beat the shit out of him. I'm like, shut up, Jason Todd. Quit being a whiny bitch. That's what Batman does every time. Like, without calling him... He calls him Robin.
I was thinking... Okay, I don't know how I started thinking of this the other day, but I was thinking of this the other day. On the same note as Robin. In the Underdwellers, when Batman takes in that little kid, why aren't they all bitching like, is he gonna be your Robin now?
Because there was no Robin back then.
There wasn't?
No, it was early enough in the series where they hadn't introduced Robin yet.
Good job, because Robin would have bitched about it.
Well, at the time that the episode aired, people suspected that this was going to be the new Robin because he took him on and he knew Alfred and all that, but then you never saw the kid again.
It was such a shitty episode. They're like, oh, let's bury this.
To be fair, the Alfred parts were really funny, where he kept stealing the silverware from Alfred, and Alfred's like, I could have sworn I put some silverware down.
Alfred's smarter than that. But anyway, everything else overshadowed that. Like, Batman being all angsty and the Sewer King, really, Dan. They're just like, oh, bury that under the bed.
Never see it again.
the under what?
The one that's included in Batman and Friends, the DVD.
Yes.
They also had the Batmobile at E3, like the actual one from the video game. You could take pictures with it. It looked awesome. Like, I love when they do that shit.
Couldn't drive it, though.
No, of course not.
They also announced that Ratchet & Clank will get a full remake for the PS4 in 2015.
Yeah, that's going to come along with a movie as well.
These games are really big. I've never actually played one.
I have the Ratchet & Clank collection. It's still in shrink wrap because I know I'm going to get around to it someday. But I really want to play those platformers. I hear they're a lot of fun. It's like a third-person shooter along with a platforming part. And I get to catch up on it in HD. I think I paid like $10 for that thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We have a lot of games we need to play. A lot of TV.
So it's just more for the PS4, more support for that system. PlayStation Now will begin its beta on July 31st for the PS4. If you guys remember, PlayStation Now is that streaming service that Sony announced, where it would be kind of like Netflix, but for the PlayStation. We didn't know any details about it, not how much it would cost. Now we know that it's going in beta this summer. The first couple of games that are going to be available to stream will be the God of War Ascension game, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and Dead Space 3.
Why'd they pick the worst Dead Space?
Because it was the newest and probably the cheapest for them to get,
Probably.
to be fair.
They should have picked Dead Space 1.
Or 2. I really like 2.
What happened in 2?
2 was the one where he finally got to let go of Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah, it had that awesome moment.
That was so sad.
Remember, we were angry at first because Isaac talked?
I cried.
Yeah, I teared up a little bit.
I did.
I'm not going to lie.
No, the first one was great because at the very end you find out he's old-ass man, Isaac. I was like, he was an old-ass man.
Killing, and then he got younger in the second one. Like, they gave him a little facelift and darker hair, and you're like, that's not old man
it's
Isaac.
The future. He's Benjamin Button.
He is Benjamin Button. So depending on how much this ends up being and all the bugs that they eventually work out of the system, could be a good deal. I don't know how many exclusives they're going to be able to get or how many third parties they can work with. So far, it looks like the PS4 is the winner in the next-gen console race, at least in its first year. Who knows what happens in the next couple of years. Things can change, obviously. But if they continue to get the support from third-party games, they can get all of these titles on PlayStation Now.
I still think this is a really good idea, too. You price it right, and people will be all over this shit. They will also be releasing a white PS4 bundle on September 9th. It will come bundled with Destiny.
So already this year, you can get a bundle with the PS4 in white. A lot of people were really happy that they brought out the PS4 in a second color. Obviously, after they come out with the white one, they'll eventually come out with the red and the blue one to go with the controllers that they're going to release in a couple of months. They haven't released them yet. It should be soon. But the white PS4 looked awesome. We're still going to colorware ours in NV Green. If you want to go ahead and play around with the colors, you can actually go to colorware.com, and it includes the PS4, the Xbox One. You can just go on there and play around with the colors. It is pricey. That's why I've been saving up for almost a year now. Over a year once I actually get one next year with Arkham Knight. But it is good with a bundle because if you buy yours at GameStop or Best Buy, just turn around and trade in Destiny right away. You can probably get $30 store credit out of it, so suddenly the PS4 costs you $370 instead of $400.
Now, my favorite part of E3, we have all of our Nintendo news. And they have some amazing stuff. I'm really, really excited. First off, they announced a Toad game called Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, which will release the holiday season of this year.
You cannot jump in this game. This is a puzzle-only title.
Awesome.
In which you play as Toad, the scared little Toad guy.
Yeah.
Collecting coins and getting money. That's what he does.
I'm gonna collect this shit. That's what he's doing. Buy all my bitches.
We can do some awesome commentary over that game, to be fair. Like, just make him this complete badass guy. Like,
pimping out all these girls.
It looks like a lot of fun. It sounds like it uses the same engine from Super Mario 3D World, the latest Wii U title. Graphics look the same. The animations look awesome. Like, if you look at that boss fight with the dragon and the fire flames and all that, all the expressions that this monster does, it's phenomenal. You haven't seen anything like that in a Mario game yet. And they did promise that there was going to be no Mario titles this year at E3 announced. Instead, they had games in the Mario universe that got announced. So technically, this is kind of a new IP. It's something we haven't seen before, all new character. Captain Toad, people that want something new, there you go. That's your first one that they announced. There are a couple.
There's still going to be people who are like, why couldn't it just be Mario? Why'd they release Toad? And then they're going to bring out Mario and they're going to complain. You're going to say, did you buy Toad?
Oh, great, another Mario.
They got to be prospectors. I'm sorry. I keep slipping.
But it's the same thing with comics. Like, oh, great, another Batman title. Oh, here's the movement. Here's the Green Team. Oh, we're not going to buy that. Where's Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
And you wonder why they made another Batman title.
Overall, I think this game looks really, really fun. I hope that we pick it up. I love puzzle games. Toad pimping out some hoes puzzle games.
I think it'll be more of your game than me.
Probably. You can watch me play it. It's okay.
I'll let you play that one. Another IP that, this one's all new, it's called Codename Steam. It's a strategy game as a third-person shooter. And then the bigger one at the show, this is the one that they had hours of gameplay on. It's called Splatoon. It's a 4-on-4 multiplayer action game. You play as these character squids that you shoot all these paintballs around the map, and that's how you know where your opponent is, and you can actually swim on the walls or on the ceilings based on the paint that you actually shot. It looked awesome. A new IP, support it if you want new games, guys. That's the end of the line right there.
That sounds so cool. I will ignore the suggestive name. Splatoon. They could just go...
You could pretend.
Splatting their stuff everywhere.
I would just shoot it at the character's face and just keep doing that. You're not even winning, Dan. You're just following me around and making me flinch. I'm winning in my own way. How about this, though? Nintendo took a page right out of Skylanders and Disney Infinity.
They have announced some amiibo figures. These are really cool. They've announced NFC characters that will interact with games in the future, including Super Smash Bros., Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Wholesaler. That's its new name. I'm so excited. Mario Kart 8, Mario Party 10, Yoshi's Woolly World, and more. These will release holiday season 2014.
Just in time to characterize and customize your Super Smash Bros. Character. That's mainly what it's going to be for. Those are the ones they showed. Link, Samus, Zelda, Mario, Yoshi.
Boring. I want them to have, like, different kind of hookers for Toad.
This is the herpes Toad, and this is the AIDS one.
This is ripped fishnet stocking Toad. This is S&M Toad.
What would those do for Toad?
I'm so excited.
They just
Make
give
him
you
more money.
All the different fetishes.
Can we have schoolgirl Toad?
There's got to be, yeah, and the foot fetish one.
This is the best game they've ever released.
I will have to buy it for Super Smash Brothers. I want the best possible fox. They said that this is going to be how you actually give powers to your character. You can give them a longer up B jump, or you can make them heavier so they're harder to knock off the stage. So people are saying this is going to unbalance the game drastically. Yes, I agree. But they said that you cannot use these characters when you go online and play against people in the For Glory mode. So that's the mode that I'm going to be in, the tournament players, where you just have the characters at their base stats as balanced as possible according to the developers, and that's what you play with. But when you're playing with your friends or people you do know, that's when you can use your power-ups and all of that.
So you're going to lose a lot of friendships.
Most like the richest kid will have the best character, in other words. It's kind of like Pokemon. The Pokemon cards, you have to buy a shit ton of booster packs, and then you'd get the best cards. Similar to this, Skylanders and Disney Infinity are still selling well almost a year later, and now Nintendo's going to get in on that. With characters like Mario, Pokemon, if they release a Pokemon game in which... You remember those NFC Bulbasaur and all that? With
Pokemon the Pokemon Rumble.
Re-release all of that again, but do it right this time, where you actually support the GameStops and all the other retailers with a secondary shipment, because there was only the one and then they were just gone.
Yeah.
And they were selling well. I think they were $3 a pop.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
I bought lots of them. I wanted that Eevee, that shiny Eevee. Oh, I wanted that so bad.
One shiny per box.
So jealous.
Good luck having it be Eevee. Mario Maker will be another one of the newer titles that they announced this year. This one gives players the ability to create their own 8-bit Mario title.
I think that's a great idea.
Comes out next year.
Great idea with how much people love customizing things. I remember when my brother played Little Big Planet all the time. There are people who made Mario Worlds in Little Big Planet. Now you have a game just for making Mario Worlds.
You know what the big title is right now that people use to customize everything? Minecraft.
Minecraft?
games like Minecraft are a testament to the fact that players like to build their own games. And you even see more than ever, people are saying, I want to be a video game developer and I want to create these games because the market is so huge. There's companies popping up left and right with their indie titles, which developers like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are starting to make it a little bit more easier for these smaller teams to get on their systems. One of my favorite brand new titles that are indie is actually going to be Transistor. They have one of the best soundtracks, and I hear the reviews are really good on that game. So for something like Mario Maker, you throw in the engine, and then you do a mode where people can share their levels. Done. I'm personally not going to get it. I've never been good with Legos or Little Big Planet or Minecraft. I suck at it. I'm really bad. So it's not going to be a game for me. But I'm awesome at Mario, so I will play your level. Go ahead and make me a level, and I will fucking beat it.
You know what the best game for creating things is?
Which one?
The Sims 3. You create lives, Dan. Lives.
You can go to jail. You can get one. You can end up with one of those toads that Toad has, and then suddenly there you go, gonorrhea, crabs. You lost.
Or pregnant. That's
even worse. You can. I think you can take pills for those other things, but not so much a baby. You either kill it or you live with the consequences.
That's horrible. Adoption, Dan.
I'm sorry, adoption. I'm not going to edit that part out. I think we should move forward.
All those babies out there. Yes, moving forward. Hyrule Warriors will release on September 26th. They announced some new playable characters. You can play as Zelda or Midna.
Midna was from Twilight Princess.
Was that the thing with the head and the thing?
With a big crown?
Yes.
And Zelda will actually have a sword. She will have a bow and arrow. She looks really cool.
Was
she
that
actually
the one
kicks ass.
with the crown and the... No, I know who that is.
She's the one with the Triforce.
I think that's really cool that they're like, you always play as Link. Here's some lady characters.
That makes it like 4 characters that they've announced. And when they actually showed the character select screen, there were still like 10 other spots to be filled. So obviously they're going to have the Gorons on there. They're going to have all the different races from the Zelda universe. It's just exciting to see who all they can use.
Can I be Batman?
You can't be Batman.
The Triforce would never be broken if Batman was there.
He would have all 3 pieces.
He would.
When they first showed off things for Hyrule Warriors, I actually wasn't very excited, and I'm still not. I don't see this as a full price purchase, to be fair. Like, I would buy it at maybe $30, but I think it's going to be the next Link's Crossbow training type of thing. You're going to see that thing on sale for $20 in a year.
Yeah. They also announced a new Mario Party. This is Mario Party 10 for the Wii U. It will release in 2015. Big reveal, you can play as...
Bowser.
He runs around and goes... Rah, 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 rah. I'm like, Bowser, you're just being like... Did you sleep with one of those toads and get something? Is that why you're so pissed off? Calm down.
Everyone that was playing the Mario Party 10 demo were saying that playing as Bowser was actually the best. Because you could mess around with the other 4 players, and you really had a sense of power with this, because you could just try to fuck them up. That was your job. You try to mess them up as much as possible. Whereas in the other games, you just kind of compete against one another. But adding that 5th player, which would use the Wii U gamepad to play as Bowser, to try to burn them with your fireballs, or try to spin the wheel so they get electrocuted, that's just a lot of fun. You're essentially the asshole of the Mario Party 10 universe.
Well, what were we playing once upon a time? All those little mini games? And you like to be that one little toad that was running away from everybody, or the one little me who was running away from everybody, and I got pissed at you because I couldn't find you. Nintendo Land, and they had all those mini games, and you were the one who got to fuck with us all. Not getting this game because you had too much fun with that.
I did. Yeah, I've never been big on Mario Party. I think 3 was the last one I played, and it was with a bunch of friends. Mario Party is only fun with friends. I'm sorry. Like if they add a really big, robust online mode to it where you can play with 3 other people from around the world, all right, it might work. Otherwise, I don't know. They also showed off some more footage for the new Pokemon game coming out this year and a release date. So it's called Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Yes. They will release November 21st.
Yes.
Right before Black Friday.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Which one did you say you were getting?
Sapphire. Because that's the one that I had before.
By the way, I already had one Twitter follower say that she would give me her Swampert.
No!
Mega Stone.
No!
Yep.
No!
Thank you to geek_omnivore.
You failed me. I did a poll at work of one person and they were getting Torchic. So, see, not everybody gets your Swampert nasty thing.
Mudkip is awesome.
I think I'm getting Trico.
Why Trico?
I don't know, because he's cool and he's a grass thing. And I think I had him before. I'm just not going to Mega Evolve him because his tail is weird.
He turns into a Christmas tree?
Even better. Oh, I'm so excited now. I'm definitely getting him.
Oh, so now you're going to Mega Evolve him because he turns into
a
holiday.
I'm going to name him Santa.
Continuing with the Nintendo games, this one we are buying day one. Yoshi's Woolly World for the Wii U comes out next year.
Looks so cool. It's very similar to
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yes, which was a great game. We had so much fun with that. Weren't we fucking with each other too? We'd grab each other and
try to throw
you back and be like.
And you can still do that with the new Yoshi, yes. Although they added more team aspects to it. Whereas for Kirby's Epic Yarn, it was more of an option than anything. Like you really didn't need a second player. But for Yoshi's Woolly World, you actually can throw another player to get to a further platform that you normally wouldn't be able to get to if you just played single player. So I think that's really exciting for people like us, where our game experiences really are varied drastically, especially when it comes to platformers. But for something like Yoshi's Woolly World, we can both be successful if we just work together. And for something like this, where it is simple enough where we can both pick up and play, throw our eggs around to create platforms, throw each other around to defeat an enemy, it's just fun. You
better be getting $6,000 an egg, because that's what people pay for those.
What are you talking about?
You said you were just throwing your eggs around.
See, I obviously didn't get that because I'm a male, so...
Obviously. Ladies out there, $6,000. Don't just be throwing them around for nothing.
But I think the graphics for this one looked amazing.
Yes, definitely. Just like Epic Yarn, Kirby's Epic Yarn, it looks so fun and cute, and you just want to pick it up for the graphics and hope that the game follows through with the same theme.
And they added more effects, especially with the extra power on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can move on to the heavy hitters.
There's a lot of them. Why they release so much at E3?
Because it's E3. This is where you advertise your game.
I think you were most excited for this?
Yes and no. There's one more title that I really wanted announced at E3, and they did.
Pokemon Snap.
It's not Pokemon Snap.
It's Pokemon Snap. Super Smash Brothers Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, for the Wii U and the 3DS, they showed all kinds of stuff. The 3DS version did get delayed until October 3rd.
That's okay, making it better.
Making it better. Initially, they said summer of this year. Now it's October. What is that, a 3-month delay?
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad. But that does mean that the Wii U version could be delayed as well. Because if it's coming out in October, how much time are you given between releases between the 3DS version and the Wii U version? Mm-hmm. I say it gets delayed till next year.
And you have been on a roll, so guys, it's delayed until next year.
You heard it first here on The Reasons I'm Broke. Official Super Smash Brothers is delayed. Source, Daniel. Just point to me.
We also got a price point on the GameCube controller adapter, which I believe we talked about that last week.
We did.
They announced that it will be $20, with spare GameCube controllers coming in at $30.
We thought it'd be more.
Mm-hmm.
$30 for the adapter, $40 for the controller. Ended up being cheaper.
Because they just got shit tons of those lying around in a warehouse.
They were being nice to us. So yeah, I'm going to buy extra GameCube controllers. One of my coworkers, he was like, "Why are you buying GameCube controllers? You have 2 of them." It's like, yeah, but those things, they're old.
They make the crusty noise when you move.
He's like, they've lasted 5 years. You think they're going to break? I'm like, I know, they've lasted 5 years. They can break any day now. So different lines of thought. GameCube controllers haven't been available for years. You have to go on Amazon and overpay for them, $50-$60.
Oof.
Now they're available again for $30. I'm going to stock up on them bitches.
Mm-hmm. Something great that they're doing too. They are releasing a Super Smash Brothers bundle that will include the adapter and a GameCube controller, which will be available for $100.
So the game costs you $60 plus $30, $90 right there.
Mm-hmm.
$20 for the adapter, so you end up saving $10 this way with the bundle. I think most people are going to be buying it anyway. Most serious Smash Brothers players will be getting this. Might as well save the $10 and get the bundle.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's a great idea.
I can see the GameCube controllers being in short supply. If they release it this year during the holiday season, you're going to see a shortage of them. Pre-order them. Get as many as you want. Get an extra one. You can cancel or return your controller later on. Just don't open it.
Or sell that on eBay when...
Or sell it on eBay.
when they're not anymore.
You want to make your kids Christmas, don't you? Give me $70 for this controller. Shouldn't have waited. Should have pre-ordered. Your fault. Some new characters that got announced. 3 of them. The first one being the least important of them all, the Mii character.
I think that thing's going to kick ass. You're all underestimating it.
Anything that you created on your Wii U or your 3DS, you can transfer it over to your Wii U and have it fight up against characters like Link, Mario, Fox. There's going to be 3 versions of the Mii character, though. There's going to be a shooter, a brawler, or a hero, or the sword wielder. Pretty awesome because they give you some customization options there. If you want to be more of like a Star Fox character, you're obviously going to choose the brawler. If you want to be someone like Link or Zelda, you're going to choose the sword wielder. And finally, the shooter, that's going to be someone like Mega Man or Samus. So really, you can have yourself be one of those characters. I will try out the brawler.
That's so cool. I think you're all underestimating this with the amount of customization you can do. This could be the best character of all time.
Could be.
I'm calling it right now. I haven't been on a roll, but I'm calling it.
Let's save the big one for last, which is originally the second one here, but let's go to the next one here. As part of the Kid Icarus series.
They did an amazing anime intro. I was like, oh, are we watching a movie now? To announce this character, Palutena. Which you called also. Look at that.
Sort of.
You called it.
Irish on Fire 31 on Twitter gave us this link, which had a rumored list for the characters, and so far it's been right. So it looks like we know all the secret characters at this point. Palutena was on that list, and it did have that awesome anime intro. Most people are saying, can you give us like an anime special now as well? Like have the same studio that just did this intro, make a little mini movie.
They just liked it because it zoomed in on her butt.
Her butt on her titties. Like, if you see it, there's already a bunch of GIFs of that with just like the one character like that ass or time to fap. They wasted no time. Within 24 hours, those things were up. And I'm like, God damn, Reddit.
Gross. Gross.
How do you know it's just, now Gail Simone would be disappointed.
She probably would.
Equal gender.
But
come on.
Gross.
Not gross. So there you go, another female character in the Super Smash Bros. Series. Not to be outdone, though, by the next one.
I did not expect this one at all. Never would have guessed. If you had me list 100, I would have put the Harvest Moon cow
before this one. But it was on that leaked list, by the way.
Really?
This other character.
Well, then we know all of them.
That's what I was saying.
I'm reiterating, Dan. Pac-Man. Pac-Man shooting off Galaga things.
That's when I was won over. I'm like, oh shit, this is fucking Pac-Man. So you got Pac-Man next to Mario and Mega Man and Sonic. What other game has had that? Only in Super Smash Brothers. But when I saw him throwing out a Galaga ship, I'm like, holy shit, that's like my third favorite game of all time is Galaga. That's all I'm going to do. If I play as Pac-Man, just keep shooting Galaga ships and all of that.
Not anything else, just Galaga ships.
And turning into the Pac-Man thing.
Waka 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 waka.
That's like his forward special move, and I'm like, hell yeah. Like, they found a way to make him not only the 3D model that Namco uses, improving on it, but also giving you the 2D stuff. The 2D Ghosts, the 2D Pac-Man, the 2D Galaga ships. It's perfect.
You think I'll have a costume change of Mrs. Pac-Man?
That's such a good idea, yes.
I'm so smart.
Just throw the bow on there, a couple of eyelashes, Miss Pac-Man.
Or cross-dressing Pac-Man.
That's always what we used to joke around with. Like, it's just Pac-Man with a bow. He cross-dressed that day.
Like Mickey and Minnie?
Exactly. So I think out of all those characters, most people were excited for Pac-Man. I didn't see any negative things on that one.
That's good.
In the trailer, they did show Mr. Game & Watch come up next to Pac-Man. I think that's like a subtle hint that, like, yeah, Mr. Game & Watch is still in this game. Very hard character to use, but to fight against, if you put Game & Watch on level 9, good luck. We do want to give our congratulations to Gonzalo Barrios of Chile for taking the Super Smash Bros. Invitational using the character Zero Suit Samus.
With her high heels?
Her high heels that people were freaking out about that now no one cares about. Look at that.
Because she wins things.
Because they let it blow over, like Comics for Kids should have done. Comics for Kids is listening like, God damn it, we're never going to live this down.
We got another listener?
Maybe they want to hear if we said bad things about them again. It was a great competition. It showed that Fox has it again. My character from Melee, they improved him.
Even if he didn't, you would say he did.
No, I wouldn't.
You would. You'd be like, oh, Fox is the best.
No, Wolf was the best in Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
But here you saw that the physics were brought back to a mix between Brawl and Melee. So it was floaty when the characters got into the air, but when characters were on the ground, there was that fast-paced action that we remember from the second Super Smash Bros. That has me excited. Any improvement over Brawl, where we get a little bit closer to Melee, is good news to me.
Is Bart Simpson in it again?
They haven't announced Bart Simpson yet.
I really hope he's in it.
She's referring to Lucas from the second Super Smash Bros., which was Brawl, which is also a part of the Earthbound series for Nintendo.
Next, we have something that is beautiful. That's the only way to describe it. Beautiful. They announced a new Zelda game for the Wii U, which is coming out in 2015. It is the first fully open world in the series, and it is beautiful.
You see this trailer, you're like, alright, we're going to get a cinematic. It looks like it's starting off as a movie.
No. Real time, bitches.
They got you guys. It is a fully realized Zelda game, open world.
Beautiful.
Graphics are exactly like Skyward Sword, but hopefully without those controls. I'm sorry, guys. I did not like the Wii Motion Plus stuff. I couldn't beat the game. I couldn't do it. I had to, like 2 hours in, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Sorry, Zelda. I'll see you in the next one.
And you will, because I really hope we get this one. It looks phenomenal. The ideas they have for it, I think, are great. We have kind of a cross-dressing Link.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that this may have been our very first female protagonist that we would have played as, not counting that CDI Zelda game, because it's not really a Nintendo title. So for this one, I think it's still Link. It still looks like Link to me.
Probably. I think it would be really cool if it was female Link, and then we had a Prince Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome.
It'll happen. I don't think this is the title, but they're slowly making Zelda into a more playable character and really independent. Like you saw in one of the DS games, she actually turns into like a statue right next to Link, and she's his partner for a little while. I thought that was good. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in Zelda 64, she was Sheik. Kicked ass.
That's right. That's right. I didn't play that one either, but... Anyway, I think this looks amazing. This was what I was most excited for, except for when they announced Pokemon Snap.
In your dreams.
Really, no. I'm sure that happened. Because I will cry if they didn't.
So staying in the Zelda news, Eiji Onuma, the Zelda honcho over at Nintendo, said that he hears everyone loud and clear on Majora's Mask. He said, quote, "I've heard that voice. It's very, very strong. I'm always listening. It's what I would say."
He's Santa Claus.
He knows listening. When you are bitching, asking for Majora. And Daniel says that game wasn't that good, guys. Stop asking for it.
Just chill out. I wore Majora's Mask in my Zelda game that I played. I went in the wall and I'm like, cool, here's the mask. And then it went beep, 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 and kicked me out of the wall.
So taking a page out of the Those Two Jerks podcast, which you can listen to on nerdupmedia.com, was I Nostra dumbass on this one?
Oh, you didn't call it.
What do you mean?
Because they didn't announce one.
They didn't announce it, so you're saying I didn't call it.
Yes. So your streak is over.
They subtly confirmed it here, though, where they said we're working on it, but we're not. That's as much of a confirmation you're going to get.
Yeah, a confirmation of it's never going to happen.
What are you talking about?
Never going to happen. The streak is over.
I think it's happening. I think we're going to get Majora's Mask announced.
You did, yeah, you thought it was going to happen at E3, and it didn't.
Yeah, E3 2015.
Okay, Dan.
Fine, I was wrong. They did talk about it, though. They did say they're listening. Maybe we'll get it.
I would say I'm listening about it a lot. Hey, Kelly, you should do this one thing. Yeah, I'm listening. Hey, Dan, can you throw in the laundry? Yeah, I'm listening. Like, doesn't mean you're going to do it.
All right, I was wrong on this one, guys. I admit defeat. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Streak over.
Yeah, after like 4 correct things.
You gotta do like that defeated face in all the games. Like, ah!
You mean I black out, wake up at a Pokemon Center?
No, you gotta be... I want to see the face from Phoenix Wright. Hold it! They didn't announce Majora's Mask! No!
My hair gets all disheveled and I'm physically hurt somehow by my
panting.
lies. Yep.
All sweating.
It's only because Edgeworth. If it's not Edgeworth, it's Sinestro, like one of the two. By the way, I had a listener actually the other day. Garrett, I'm giving you your shout out right now. He asked, what's with the naked Sinestro talk? He went back like 4 episodes and he's like, what's up with the naked Sinestro? And I honestly couldn't give him an honest answer. I'm like, what is up with this naked Sinestro thing? Like, how did that start?
I don't know. How did it start?
I don't remember, but I know it was confirmed when we read one of the older, the Sinestro Corps War. There's actually like the first naked. Or second page, he was actually naked. And that was like our epiphany.
Oh, no, I think it was back when...
I know it was with the New 52 stuff.
Yes, with when he absorbed Parallax. Mm-hmm. I think you were flipping through you were reading it, because we read comics side by side when we can. And you got to that page and you went, wow! And I went, what is it, Naked Sinestro? And I think that's how it started.
That might have been it.
That makes sense. You're reading something and you went, whoa.
That's true. And then you did say Naked Sinestro, and that became the joke because I liked Sinestro so much that we just kind of ran with this idea that I'm somehow in love with him, along with Snape and Batman and Sinestro and Ra's al Ghul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you love all of those.
I do like all those characters.
We did see Naked Batman once. Remember his butt crack?
Yeah, in the Greg Capullo book. Yeah. It was in 0 year.
It was so silly. Silly butt crack.
So now for my news, the one that I wanted to hear at E3 this year, and they did announce it.
Can I announce it?
Fine, you can announce it.
Pokemon Snap.
It's not Pokemon Snap, goddammit. It is Star Fox for the Wii U, coming out next year. Miyamoto actually was playing it. There at E3, a lot of players got to try it out. They said that it's very early in development. Like they said, the stages and the backgrounds and all of the textures were very outdated. Miyamoto even admitted that this was originally a Wii title that they never got to finish, and now they're bringing it over to the Wii U, but having it where the gamepad is the way that you shoot. So you actually move the gamepad around, I guess sort of like Pokemon Snap, where you move the gamepad around to actually shoot the enemies and to view them, while the television is a third-person view of the R-Wing. You press the A button, the R-Wing now transforms into the Landmaster. That is, I believe, the first time they had that happen. It was an original idea for N64 Star Fox, where they would actually transform, but they eventually made it because of technical limitations where they were separate ships. So you actually load with the models when you got to the new planet. But now with the technology they have, I guess Miyamoto can finally do that thing where the R-Wing transforms into the Landmaster, maybe eventually into the Blue Marine, I think is what it was called, in the one submarine level. I'm not a fan of having to use the gamepad to move it around. I think we all learned that with the Wii. We are lazy gamers. We're more effective when you actually use the buttons and the joystick. So as long as there is an option in there where you can use the Pro Controller or even the GameCube controller to control your R-Wing or to shoot, I'm down. I'm going to buy this. But if you have to use the gamepad the whole time, I will still buy it, but I will not be a happy camper.
You're being an angry man. We are lazy. Like, oh, can't lift my arms. I just want to push some buttons.
Yeah.
Last game they announced at E3, Pokemon Snap. Just let me have this, Dan.
You're trolling everyone now.
I know. They didn't really announce Pokemon Snap, but I wanted them to. And then they could use the little characters, the little NFC things, and then I could put them and just have more Pokemon to take pictures of, and I could walk around the house and take pictures of Pokemon. Dan, I want this game.
I'll tell you what, they'll announce that the same year they announce Majora's Mask.
Thank
How about
you.
that?
That'll never happen then.
And I've been found. We're going to end on a bit of a high note here with Gail Simone.
Oh, love her.
That's her shout out. I'm sure she's listening.
I'm sure.
She was mega trolling on Twitter during E3.
She's like me with my Pokemon Snap.
She is. Tell them what the first tweet was.
She said, wow, the Xbox One is announcing a series of adorable hats you can put on your console. This is gaming goodness. I would buy those.
Gaming hats. Well, so what would it be, like a Kirby hat?
Yeah.
A Master Chief helmet?
Just like cute little hats. I want one that just kind of sits on the side of the console instead of right on top, you know, like little side hats.
Yeah. You would buy that, wouldn't you?
I would like dress
accessorize your console.
I would. This would be great little dresses.
Jeez. The next tweet was, wow, Disney buying Capcom. I did not see that coming. I wonder how many people fell for that.
Probably I could see Disney doing it. Because Disney's just like,
they'll just buy it, whatever.
Let me buy it all. But they're smart with their purchases. Next one is, one thing though, they should have done a fighting game where all the characters from different games fight. Get on it, Nintendo.
I love that one. You can read these on Twitter, @GailSimone. Here's the final one that we really enjoyed. Marvel and Kingdom Hearts? About time.
Oh, no.
Biggest troll right there.
Oh, no.
Got them all.
No. Just no.
No, because that's mean of her to say, or no, because you don't want to see Marvel characters in the new Kingdom of Hearts?
I never want to see Marvel characters in Kingdom Hearts.
Why not?
Because that'd be horrible. Like, I'm Captain America, and I'm going to stop this man with my Keyblade. No.
If they put Pirates of the Caribbean in Kingdom Hearts, why can they put Spider-Man in?
Because Pirates is good.
Only one of those movies is good.
Jack Sparrow was cool.
Only in one of those movies.
No, that's fine.
Only in the first one, I'm sorry.
You know what? You just don't understand good movies.
This is why I stopped studying film. I was just terrible at it. I kept picking The Fountain and City Lights, not Pirates of the Caribbean.
And Amadeus. Pirates and Step It Up 3, Dan. Come on.
That's what it's all about. I'm still learning though. I'm learning about movies.
No, I'll teach you. Don't worry, because
Bend
I'm
it like
the film
Beckham.
major. Didn't that movie take 1,000 years to come out?
Mean Girls is now on Netflix. I hear people... I'm just going to like the movies that everyone likes. So now, instead of me actually not liking Avengers, it's now my favorite, I guess.
Is it bad that I watched Mean Girls the other night on Netflix?
How was it? After all these years? Not very good?
No, not really. I'm like, I feel kind of empty inside. Like, nobody really learned a lesson, but they kind of learned, like, high school lessons. And I guess in high school, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. And now I'm just kind of like, there's bigger things in life, like jobs and paying off bills.
Will I feed my kids?
Loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we move into our comics, we can move into some comic book news and some film news.
Mm-hmm. One comic we picked up recently, did we talk about it? I believe we did.
Maybe briefly, but we did read the trade.
Mm-hmm. We picked up the Rat Queens trade, and this is actually picked up to become an animated series.
So now, Rat Queens, if you can find it, you're going to be paying at least $20 for one of those. At the very least, because all these speculators are nabbing them up. So what'd you think of the trade? Is it going to be a good animated?
I think so. I really liked it. The characters had a lot of chemistry. Looked like a really good friendship. Everybody had something you could relate to.
It was a really fun book.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think women are going to be all over this because it's strong female characters choosing their men, not their men choosing them. Come on, Gail Simone. Let me hear you say it with me.
So many shout-outs to Gail. I'm going to have to tweet her.
Mm-hmm. She won't listen.
She will. I believe in Gail.
Well, your calling streak has ended, so that's okay.
God damn it. No. Too down. You think it's better that they went for an animated version of this as opposed to live action?
Yes. Because you could probably get some pretty cheap people. But I think there's more they can do with the live action, with animated, especially with the amount of fantasy that's in this. Mm-hmm. It's going to cost a lot of money to CGI a giant orc and people killing it.
Especially for something that they don't know if it's going to be a success or not.
Mm-hmm.
Put out a season, see how it does. Hopefully it's successful.
Yep. Really excited, though. It was a good book.
So we saved I guess I would say most exciting news for last as opposed to the E3 stuff. This is the DC's rumored film schedule.
Was this released by the guy who released the Super Smash Secret Things?
No, I wish. Otherwise this would be true.
Totally true.
This was first released by Nikki Finke. She was formerly from Deadline. She claims to have inside sources that have revealed Warner Brothers' film schedule. She says that this may very well be confirmed at this year's Comic-Con.
Who'd she sleep with?
Doesn't matter. If this list is true, I got some things to say about it.
Does she work for Toad?
She must. So the first one is May 2016, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Okay. Knew about that one?
Yep.
Next one, July 2016, Shazam.
So same year, same summer, I guess, as Batman vs. Superman. I've been saying I really want a Shazam movie to come out because you can market the shit out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Market it to kids, sell toys.
Mm-hmm. I'm really, really excited for this one. This is probably the one that I'm most excited for.
From the ones on this list, the rumored list.
Right.
So take this with a huge grain of salt.
Christmas 2016, we have Sandman.
So we knew Sandman was coming. We didn't know when.
Mm-hmm.
People are saying Christmas 2016. But we don't know if it's going to be in the same universe as Justice League. Could just be a regular Vertigo film, separate from these movies like Constantine, Arrow, The Flash, and all of that. It could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Has a big following.
If any of these are done right, they could all be good.
May 2017, Justice League.
Awesome.
Too soon.
Too soon?
That's what made me say this film, or this list is bullshit.
Oh.
2018 at the earliest.
Okay.
Is what I say.
July 2017, Wonder Woman.
So they're saying after the Justice League movie, they're going to give some of these characters their separate movies. Mm-hmm. And if anyone deserves one, it's Wonder Woman.
I agree. Strong female character.
Long overdue. Christmas 2017, a Flash/Green Lantern team-up film.
Awesome. Can it be Jon Stewart?
I hope it's Jon Stewart. I really want
so
Jon Stewart.
So much is Jon Stewart. That'd be amazing.
So it's interesting that they teamed up, according to this list, Flash and Green Lantern. Do you think those two properties are weak to the point where you need to team them up to make a stronger film?
No, I don't think I would say that. I think, hopefully, if they do Jon Stewart, I think Jon Stewart's a lesser-known Green Lantern. Everybody knows Hal Jordan.
I don't know about
you
that.
Think?
I'm going to agree with Neil Adams and say that because people like us grew up with the cartoon Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, to us, our Green Lantern is Jon Stewart. Now, after we read the comic, we're like, it's Sinestro, obviously, the greatest Green Lantern of all time. But to many of the older readers, it is still Hal Jordan. You're right. But people my age, I still think it's John Stewart.
Right, but you got the younger kids, too, who now the only Green Lantern experience they have is Green Lantern, the animated series.
That's true, too.
And that's Hal Jordan.
Let's leave it up. Question of the week for Twitter. Who is your Green Lantern? Hashtag my Green Lantern.
Dan, the people who listen to us are hopefully all our age. And so it's all going to be John Stewart.
Well, let's hear it. Let's find out.
All right, fine.
Find us on Twitter at Reasons I'm Broke.
I think it's going to be Hal Jordan.
I think it's going to be John Stewart.
All right, this is a bet now. Guys, tell us what we win if we win.
Does my streak definitely end? Or does it have a glimmer of hope and continue?
No, definitely ends. Done.
The final one on the list of this rumored schedule is on May 2018, which is still not soon enough for Justice League, in my opinion. It's going to be that summer 2018.
Okay.
But they're saying it's going to be Man of Steel 2, so Superman's next film.
Man of Steel 2, The Ballad of Batman. Named it. Done. Called it.
So we all know Superman loves Batman.
Of course.
He discovers Batman in Batman vs. Superman. Mm-hmm. His feelings are stirring inside. He truly falls for the Batman. In Justice League, it's the greatest day of his life. He gets to work alongside this man. What happens in Man of Steel 2?
There's going to be a falling out.
What kind of falling out?
Oh, I don't know. Like, Batman didn't eat the cake Superman made him or something. I don't know. Superman gets all pissy about it.
Trying to be wifey material,
yeah.
and
he
Batman's
probably even wears a
he's
little
not like
pink
that.
apron. He'd probably be like, I made you this cake. And Batman would be like, that's not nutritionally complete. I need to drink my slush. I don't know. Smoothie.
But in Superman's head, it's a rejection.
Yep.
He doesn't understand that Batman doesn't feel that way.
Well, no, because in his head, he and Batman are in love.
Do we need to play the Superman Loves Batman theme song? I don't know if we have another comic that is actually going to hit that, so...
Probably not. We haven't played in a while. Go ahead. Our last bit of news, which also pertains to
Batman vs. Superman.
Yep, Batman vs. Superman. They have announced Aquaman.
Will be played by Jason Momoa, who we, at least I know from Game of Thrones.
I know him from Game of Thrones. He did that girl in the butt.
That's always what you're going to know him as.
Yes, I don't think he really did her in the butt, but we're going to pretend.
So here's where the conflict comes in. According to Newsarama.com, Aquaman will be upset over the world engine in Man of Steel and what it did to the more watery areas of the world.
He's going to pop out, Superman, I'm going to do you in the butt. Just like I did that girl. Oh, okay, so I'm sorry. He's from Game of Thrones. He plays the barbarian dude. Mm-hmm. And I think this was the only episode I ever watched with you. Because It was you and your friends.
Drogo.
And you all were like, oh, this is the greatest show ever. And I walk in as he's doing her in the butt, and her stuff is flapping everywhere, and she's crying. And I'm like, and I'm done with this show. Enjoy, guys.
So what do you think about this casting as Aquaman?
I don't know.
He played a good leader in this. He played a good king. Could he pull off the King of the Ocean?
Probably. I haven't seen his acting much except for doing that girl in the butt. So if that's part of the movie, he'll do a great job.
What would you say earlier tonight? Like Superman's like, this is an exit only.
Unless it's Batman.
Unless it's Batman.
Secret Batcave.
Bat Trents only. Poor Superman.
I know, we're so mean to him.
Well, not only that, but it looks like Batman's going to be coming after Superman. Now Aquaman's going to be coming after him because this is what your people did. They fucked up my ocean. It looks like it's going to be more than a cameo. Do you think this movie has way too many characters for its own good? We got Cyborg. We've got Aquaman, Batman, Superman, of course. That's not a cameo, though. They're the main characters. And then Wonder Woman, who looks like will play a bigger role in this than the rest of these.
I'm not going to cast the Stone of Judgment because I have not seen anything. Everything, if done correctly, can be awesome. They have a lot on their plate, and it's going to be more difficult than if they had just left it at Batman and Superman, of course. But they can make this a really good lead up to the Justice League if they play their cards right.
Cool. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. I like the casting, but just like I said with Batfleck, I'm also not going to say this was a great casting because I haven't seen anything from this. Just like I didn't say it was a bad casting with Ben Affleck and Batman. Mm-hmm. We know nothing about this. Let's wait and we see the movie. Not even the trailer, because I've been fooled by the trailer before.
Are they going to make him blonde?
I don't know.
Because that would look so weird.
Yeah, it would look weird on him. I think they should just keep it at his natural hair color, deal with it. It's not a blonde Aquaman. Oh, no.
And that will wrap it up for our news this week. There was a lot of it.
Tons of video games.
Pokemon
tons of
Snap.
film. Tons of DC.
Just let me dream, Dan. Don't give me that face.
Indie books this week, followed by Marvel, and finally DC. Only 6 books.
Yep, it was a short week. Made up for it with the news. First up, we have Bee and Puppycat number 2. This is written and drawn by Natasha Allegri.
If you haven't seen the cartoon yet, please head on over to YouTube, type in Bee and Puppycat. It's awesome. It's low budget, but it's so entertaining.
Amazing.
And now the comic book. What'd you think of the comic?
You know what I thought of the comic. Don't even give me that.
This was my pick of the week, is what you're going to say.
Maybe I'll say it differently.
You're going to say it like me?
Yes. My pick of the week was this book right here for its art and its ingenuity.
Not what I say.
It should be. Yes, this was my pick of the week, Dan, and you knew it was when I started squealing while reading it.
They have QR codes, right?
Yes. Download a QR thingy on your phone right now because they're amazing.
To give you a basic on the story, they go into a music box that is broken. That is their mission. They get paid as they go into these different dimensions. And when they hear the different music from each of the music boxes, you can actually scan the QR code and you can listen to these songs on YouTube. Mm-hmm. It's so awesome.
So they have to fix a music box. They don't know which music box is broken. So they're going around and they're flipping open these music boxes. And like Dan said, you click it and you listen. And I just sat there and I listened. And they were so cool. There was one called like Spooky Ghost. It was awesome. There was one called Day at the Beach. Something. I don't even know. There's like 5 different songs. And they're only about a minute long. But they were all so much fun, and I got excited because now it's not just me reading a story, it's me interacting with the story.
Right.
I feel like them trying to find this missing, this broken music box, and we finally find the broken one, and it just makes fart noises. I was such a kid.
It was a great story. I really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. You can jump right in with number 2. Not my pick of the week, but it was awesome.
It was depressing, too. Did you catch that little story at the end, how they had to fix the music box?
How?
Oh, okay. So there's 4 pieces that have fallen out of this music box, and you have to recreate the story. So...
Oh, with the lonely... Yes, I'm not... Yeah, let's not spoil it for the readers.
It was so good.
It was sad.
It was sad.
I liked it.
I think it's foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. It could be. Next book is Lumberjanes number 3, written by Grace Ellis and Noelle Stevenson, with art by Brooke Allen and Noelle Stevenson.
I'm still liking this series a lot.
This was my favorite issue thus far.
Really?
Like the first 2, I was kind of iffy on. I liked the second one way more than the first. This one was the best one so far, in my opinion.
That's good.
Because now it's an ongoing. It was originally a 6-issue miniseries. Sales were awesome on it. It is now an ongoing.
Because it's strong female characters, great connection between all of them. We got a little love story going on. Mm-hmm. We got awesome redhead, like, kicking Gollum ass.
That's why you like it. Gotta relate. Someone you can finally relate to.
Gingers are pretty badass.
Other than Batgirl and Red Sonja and Misty.
Good for Gail Simone. Oh, I like that you included Misty in there.
From Pokemon, yep.
Thank you.
And the one from Rat Queens. All coming around full circle.
Yeah, good job, redheads. You notice redheads are in everything.
But the one in Rat Queens like the bearded man, so that kind of fits. You said that was my character, right?
Yeah, you were...
Bearded Dave?
Bearded Dave. No, he was Orc Dave.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was Orc Dave.
Orc Dave. With the
Just gotta shave my head?
Bluebirds. Yeah, you can snip your hair, but don't shave your head.
So Lumberjanes number 3, what'd you think of it overall?
I really liked it. I don't think it was my favorite, but it continued to tell a great story. I'm very interested in what's going to happen. They still haven't explained this magical world because you understand that it's not normal, but all these girls are treating it as it is normal.
Right, and then they get chastised at the very end of the book.
Exactly. I think there was a whole lot of foreshadowing. They have to do one particular test where everything is called an anagram, where all the letters are switched up. And they only solve a few things on that wall. They don't solve everything. So if I were any good at anagrams and could spell, I would go in and figure out what that whole wall said. because I'm sure that has so much cool stuff or just hilarious
Just
stuff.
the editors being funny,
Yeah.
maybe.
I'd put weird things in there like Toad selling hose on 6th Street. I don't know.
Next one is our Marvel book for this week, She-Hulk number 5, written by Charles Soule, with art by Ronald Wimberly and Kevin Wada.
The plot thickens in this one.
Yes, it does.
So if you remember in the last one, She-Hulk uncovers this weird case file where she and a bunch of people were being sued, but none of them can remember it. So she's trying to find out what's happening, and there's trigger words that's setting all these people off as she's asking them questions.
Right, and she still doesn't remember being involved in them, and one of her associates actually ends up getting murdered in their discovery and in their search for this.
Did she really get murdered?
Well,
I don't think she's really murdered.
You think she's involved in this?
I don't know if she's involved in this, but
the one thing about this book that changed, which I was really upset about, was the art. It was I'm sorry, it was not very good.
It wasn't as good as it had been.
I'm hoping the artist just took a break, and this was like a one-issue kind of gap between the next one. Thankfully, the story is still good, so that goes to tell you that the comic is mainly about the story when it comes down to it. We're not in the 90s anymore. We don't just follow something purely for the art. Maybe an issue or two, sure, but that can't be what a comic book survives on in this day and age.
Exactly. Next up is Batgirl number 32, written by the fabulous Gail Simone, with art by Fernando Passarin, Jonathan Glapion, and Alex Garner.
This is the beginning of an arc. So if you want to jump onto Batgirl, it's a good time to do it. Her life is just in ruin with her dad being in jail and the same guy that shot her boyfriend getting ready to break up with her and being really distant with. She can't get close to him because he was suing her dad. It's a mess for her.
Yeah, poor Batgirl. Now we got the secret society showing up. Like, you're going to be one of us now, or we're going to fuck you up.
Threatening her, but she has this help. So now we're going to have some more characters in there, Black Canary and a mystery character at the very end, which got revealed. We're not going to spoil that for you, but that's in Batgirl number 32. I'd say pick it up if you like Red Sonja, if you like the movement. Batgirl's right up your alley. Even Ratgirls, it's very similar to that too. But with the Bat family, yeah.
Strong women characters.
We keep joking. Like, the joke between that with the newer Brocat listeners is that Gail Simone hates it when you say, like, you write really good female characters. And she's like, no, I write good characters. It doesn't matter what the sex is. But then you go on Twitter and she's going on and on about strong female characters and women.
Good for her. Good for her. She does write good characters, though. She understands women.
All right.
Not like all these men who just big boobs and they don't understand women.
Of course not. No. All these listeners are like, you guys are dicks. It's like, no, we're being
honest.
Sarcastic.
I was being honest. I don't think men understand women.
Yeah, sorry Scott Snyder. Sorry Jimmy Palmiotti. Sorry all these other awesome authors.
Jimmy's got Amanda to help him out.
What about Darwin Cook? Or Paul Dini?
No, okay, fine, Paul Dini.
Bruce Timm.
He's also got his wife to help him out. Bruce Timm does draw women with big boobs, Dan. They do get undressed a lot around each other.
Yeah, but it's all in the name of comedy and
oh yeah,
and art.
Harley running around in a tiny shirt and Ivy in her underwear.
Was Mad Love not good?
It was, but
was Harley and Ivy not good?
Well, it was, but did he have to put them in underwear?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
No, he didn't have to.
It was funny.
Them in they were sitting around their house, Dan. How is that funny?
You don't get that humor.
Because you're a man? Is that why? Because me, I'm like, I do not sit around my friend's house in a tiny shirt. And my friend doesn't sit around in her underwear.
Maybe it's a parody.
It's
higher thinking, Kelly. It's okay.
Okay. Just, okay.
And that's why Gail Simone's there, for someone you to look up to.
Because she dresses women. Like Sonia, she's dressed all the time now. Sometimes she wears her bikini.
The metal bikini. Mm-hmm. Yep, she does bring that back.
Can I wear that to a convention?
Some people do.
I'd have
Just
to
go to Gail Simone's and say you feel empowered. Go to her table. I feel empowered because of you, and now I can wear this. And she's like, no, that's not what I meant.
I'm a strong female character now.
Next is Detective Comics number 32, written by Brian Buccellato and Francis Manapool, with art by Francis Manapool.
This was a beautiful comic.
Great team. I love it.
Beautiful comic.
Almost my pick of the week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very good story. Beautiful comic. Batman still being a detective, running around doing detective things. We got new, maybe Robin?
So, yeah, we still don't know who the new Robin's going to be. Probably the first Black Robin, actually. I don't think it'll be this one. Like you called it, was it 5 episodes ago? That it would probably be the character from the current Batman Zero Year story.
If it turns out to be him, then my calling it streak has begun.
Has begun.
And that means Pokemon Snap will come true.
If you keep it up to next year. So Detective Comics, it's back to the roots of Batman being a detective, trying to solve this story, finally coming into contact with the Squid. Or is it really the Squid? I think that's going to be the brand new villain that they introduced in the last issue.
He blows up a fucking squid.
Fucking, yeah. It's like, oh, Batman versus Squid? Odds are not...
Sushi.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Overall, though, beautiful comic, great story. I think you could pick this up and still not be lost.
If you're going to pick up 2 Batman books, Batman, then Batman and Robin, but Detective Comics would not be a bad substitute for Batman and Robin. Mm-hmm. Finally, my pick of the week is going to be Justice League United number 2, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Mike McCone.
This is interesting because I don't think I like this one very much.
You did not like Justice League?
It was so wordy.
So what? It's a good story.
Wordy. I'm like, John, you could have told the story with way less words.
Jeff?
No, John Jones. When he was...
Oh, the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Martian Manhunter is finally like being a badass again that we saw him in Justice League of America.
Protecting his lady.
This was a very fun book. It's still Green Arrow bitching at Animal Man.
Yeah, they're lovers.
Supergirl's now in this. So we see her introduction.
Randomly showed up.
Her and Supergirl are interacting.
Yeah,
like the team is really forming and they're really actually working together. Whereas in the previous couple of issues they really weren't. I think I like this team better than the team in Justice League of America.
Really?
And it's lesser known characters too.
But I like Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman was cool.
Oh, that's right, but she's chilling with Batman in the Batcave and they got married. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Whatever continues Justice League United in your mind is fine with me. Hawkman and Lobo continue to fight.
Yeah, Hawkman's got like this weird arm now.
Yeah, the nth armor actually regrew his arm, which is great.
Creepy.
And you see like the main villain, I guess, in the first Justice League United arc. Yeah, the reborn super baby.
Oh yeah, that thing was spooky. They took DNA from everything,
including the human race. Yep, to try to take the best from each one. Initially to create peace, maybe not so much.
Maybe to create havoc. Mm-hmm. So did they take your DNA then if they took the best of everything?
No, they took Batman's. Definitely took Batman's. So I liked the issue. It was a lot of fun. My pick of the week, if it weren't for this, it'd be Detective Comics 32. But Justice League United was just a better overall comic. It
was good, but too wordy for me. Told a really long story. If I told that story, I'd be like, he bad. He's a punk-ass motherfucker. Done. Story over.
So the pick of the week to round it out for me was Justice League United number 2.
Mine was Bee and Puppycat number 2.
Not a pass of the week this week, I would say.
I really liked them all.
Yeah, very good week. A ton of E3 news. And I think we could round out our episode and end episode. I think this is like number 93 or 92. Yeah, we've got a lot of episodes. This is number 92, I believe.
Thank you guys so much for listening this week. Just so you know, next week will be a little bit of a different podcast. We are going out of town for the week, so we won't be around to record our regular show, but we will have something up for you next week.
Yeah, when we get back in town, we may give you guys our pick of the week for that week of comics. If not, we're going to come back to our regular reviews and everything. But next week, I think we're going to do a commentary over a TV show that you can follow along with us on Netflix. So it'll be something new, something fun, something different.
We should do my Hulu anime.
I knew you'd find a way to work that in
here. I worked it in there because I love it.
What is the name of the anime you're watching?
I don't know. From You to Me.
On Hulu?
On Hulu. There's a lot of commercials. But it's so cute. You said it was your life, too. Just all these girls following
one of the characters I relate to. No, but we'll do commentary over something comic book related. Most likely Justice League. We'll let you know next week when you tune in. It'll be on time. Thank you for tuning in. You can find the link to all of our episodes and everything on nerdupmedia.com, as well as some of our other partners in the Nerd Up Media network, including the Lazy Gaming Guys, Those Two Jerks, the Reed Pile, Bacon in the Oven. Just head on over to nerdupmedia.com and find some other amazing programs.
If you guys are listening to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment or review. It helps other people find us.
Head on over to Facebook. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/thereasonsimBroke.
We also post a lot on Twitter. I believe we have most of this news that we talked about up there, but we also put up funny pictures and interact with you guys at Reasons I'm Broke or #ReasonsI'mBroke. And don't forget, our Twitter question of the week was, who is your Green Lantern? I said it was Hal Jordan. Dan said it was Jon Stewart. It's a crazy bet now. Somebody's going to lose. Punishment needs to be dealt out.
Wherever you end up replying, Twitter or Facebook, we'll share it not next week, but the week after on our next podcast, right when we get back in town. Thank you so much for listening, Brokettes. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
See you next week.